Hey, what's up? So, win number 3 here. Just shot a double leg, had my back against the cage, took a good shot. Looking to pass guard all the way. The guy was squirming a lot. That always happens at the beginning of the fight. Everybody's fresh, everybody's fighting hard, got a lot of energy. This was the first fight I had that I was actually training in Egli. That was at Oregon Pound Jiu-Jitsu in Corvallis. I was working a lot on not getting tangled in guard or half guard. I passed. I found the head and arm. Again, as a wrestler, that's a position that's comfortable for me. We see the same thing that I did in the first 2 fights. I'm softening him up with punches. I'm looking for stuff. I'm turning him over here. There was a lot of pressure here on this guy already. Choke was building a little bit. I was able to move his elbow to one side to finish an arm triangle. Tap came pretty quickly once I settled my weight. We're going to talk about how to do that, a couple variations, and how to set it up.
Hey guys, so I'm here with Sky. That was win number 3 via arm triangle in the first round. Exciting, it was a good fight. What you probably noticed if you've watched the other 2 fight breakdowns is I've gotten to the head and arm position in every fight, but I finished a different way each time. So the head and arm, again, I came from wrestling, strong position. I'm looking for the same stuff each time. Few different attacks. The arm triangle's one. So in this fight, I looked for my patented Americana, did some other stuff, ended up going for the arm triangle. So we're going to talk about how to finish a basic arm triangle. There's many ways. I'm going to show my favorite way, a couple variations from different positions, and kind of how to set it up. A lot of ways to finish this. What you saw in the fight is I initially tried to grab my lock and jump across. So what that looks like is if I, in a scramble, normally off a pass, if I can catch this guy's head and redirect his arm past my face and make my lock here, I'm gonna get heavy, try to go ear to ear. That's what we get cauliflower. I'm gonna go ear to ear, and then in the fight, I jumped over the top to clear his guard, and then from here is I would slowly sink. What happened from there is I ended up in the head and arm. We'll talk about that briefly in just a second. But if I can get this guy, he's on his side doing what he thinks he's supposed to be doing, I'm gonna catch this deep, Gable Grip, heavy towards his ear, big old hop to clear his legs, and again, I'm gonna flatten out, and it's gonna tap. In the fight, I thought I was gonna get it as soon as I hopped across. He kind of knew what was coming, so he elbowed down really hard, which made me lose the choke, and I was worried about him coming out the back. So I switched to my head and arm, again like I did in the first 2 wins. Started punching here, and from there what I did is I moved this head across, and I locked up kind of high on my bicep or on my forearm, and I started pushing away, ear to ear kind of on the other side, which made him try to belly out. He wasn't able to. From there, I was able to settle back down and get my tap. My favorite way when I first started MMA and started doing jiu-jitsu is I would finish the arm triangle by triangling my arms in the rear naked lock, where I would grab my bicep, I would put this hand on the head here, and I would kind of lay flat, or a lot of times I'd have my butt in the air. And what I realized in that one is I'm just usually crunching my partner's neck. Now, in a fight, certainly a guy's gonna fight through, ooh, my neck's kind of sore. You want the guy to fall asleep. The fight's over if they take a nap. So I stopped doing that, and I started going to a Gable Grip. So from this position, I want to try to push my head into his arm as much as I can. This shoulder's going to block this carotid. My bicep's going to block the other one. So from here, I'm going to have my grip nice and deep. I'm going to palm to palm my hands here. And what I like to do is go as flat as humanly possible. Hips to the mat, head pressure in, and I'm going to circle the head a little bit. Let that slowly build. One more time. Hand's gonna be under, palm to palm. Now what's doing most of the work is head pressure, and I'm really just flexing my bicep like I'm about to take a picture for Instagram. So I'm literally just doing like a bodybuilder bicep flex with pushing my head in. I'm gonna slowly build, and I'm gonna tap. So that's my favorite way to finish. Keeping my hips down really, really low is gonna help lower my center of gravity, prevent me from getting rolled. But again, it's also gonna put turn this into a choke versus a crank. So what you'll see sometimes, again, is people have their hips high If you squeeze on it for long enough, you'll tap the guy, but again, in practice, it's usually going to be a crank. You don't want to crank your buddy's neck because then they won't want to train with you anymore. And again, in a fighting situation, you want the guy to be neutralized completely, not just be like, oh, my neck hurts. So, but one that'll work somewhat effectively here, from that same position, let's say this guy is doing a good job of chasing me, and I can't keep him away. What I'll do from this position is I'll stick my knee above his hip bone, and I'll just, again, keep that same squeeze. And that's going to prevent him from closing the distance on me, and it also hurts his ribs and guts a little bit, so it makes him kind of not fight so hard. Those are kind of the arm triangle cliff notes. It's a really, really powerful choke. It suits me well too because I have really long arms for my height. The thing that with this move that's really important to remember is to build your squeeze really slow, and again, keeping your hips low is going to turn it into a choke and not a crank. Again, a crank somebody can fight out of. We want it to be a choke. So when you're practicing this, make sure you're staying really, really low and you're really working mostly this bicep. If I squeeze everything together really tight, again, I'm just gonna crunch his neck. I just wanna put the emphasis on my bicep and head pressure in, trying to make this hole as small as possible. So again, hips low. When people think their hips are low, there's still air between their body and the mat. All the way down, like you're taking a nap. Wide feet is going to be good for a wide base. And again, I'm just going to get heavy here, and he's going to go to sleep.
Hey guys, that was win number 3 out of 17 so far. Many more to come. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Also, please look for me on Instagram and Twitter at Ben_Egli. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. A lot more videos to come.